Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to Strange and Curious Planet, where we explore the forces shaping our world, from hidden climate cycles to the strange patterns that rule nature itself. Because today we're uncovering one of the most powerful, mysterious and world-changing natural events on Earth, El Niño. It's an ocean phenomenon that has rewritten weather patterns, collapsed ecosystems and even shifted economies. And it's coming back stronger than ever. El Niño isn't just a storm or a season. It's a massive climate disruption system born deep in the Pacific Ocean. Its name, which means the boy child in Spanish, was coined by Peruvian fishermen centuries ago when they noticed unusually warm waters appearing around Christmas. What they didn't know was that those warm waters were part of a global chain reaction that could influence weather everywhere, from Africa to Asia, Australia to the Americas. Under normal conditions, trade winds blow steadily from east to west across the equatorial Pacific, pushing warm surface water toward Asia. This piles up heat near Indonesia and allows cold, nutrient-rich water to rise along South America's coast, fueling rich fisheries and steady weather systems. But during El Niño, everything flips. Those trade winds weaken or even reverse, allowing warm water to surge back towards South America. The Pacific becomes a giant bathtub of heat, stretching thousands of kilometers. That shift in ocean temperature doesn't stay in the Pacific. It changes wind patterns, rainfall, and temperature across the globe. When El Niño takes hold, the global thermostat turns up. The massive release of ocean heat into the atmosphere raises average global temperatures, often making El Niño years the hottest on record. The 2016 and 2023 spikes in global warmth, both tied to strong El Niño events. But the real story isn't just heat, it's chaos. Regions that depend on regular rainfall can suddenly dry up. Others drown under relentless storms. The Amazon can burn while California floods. The Indian monsoon can falter, leading to drought and failed crops. Even faraway places like East Africa or Antarctica feel its touch. That's because El Niño doesn't act alone. It sets off atmospheric ripples like a giant stone dropped into a pond. These ripples shift the jet stream, the high-altitude river of air that guides weather systems, steering storms into new regions while blocking others. In short, when El Niño wakes up, the entire planet feels it. Throughout history, El Niño has shaped civilizations. In 1877 to 78, one of the most intense El Niños ever recorded triggered global famine. Crops failed in India, China and Brazil. Droughts spread, millions starved, and the world's climate patterns were rewritten for years. Today, our world is more connected and, well, more vulnerable. Modern El Niños can cause billion-dollar disasters. Floods destroy infrastructure, droughts crush agriculture, and heat waves strain energy grids. Disease patterns even change. Warm, stagnant waters encourage outbreaks of malaria, dengue, and cholera. And here's the twist. Climate change is amplifying the cycle. As the planet warms, scientists believe El Niño events could become more frequent and more intense, creating what researchers call super El Niños. These mega-events unleash extreme weather unlike anything seen before. So, what does El Niño actually do to the Earth's systems? Let's break it down by region: the Pacific and the Americas. The eastern Pacific becomes unusually warm, disrupting marine life. Fish like anchovies and sardines vanish as cold water nutrients disappear. Coastal South America sees torrential rains and deadly floods, while the Western Pacific, Indonesia and Australia, often suffers scorching droughts and wildfires. In Asia and India, El Niño weakens the monsoon rains, leading to crop failures across India and Southeast Asia. Rice yields drop, water supplies shrink, and food prices spike globally. Over in North America, the southern United States tends to get wetter and cooler, while the Pacific Northwest becomes drier and milder. In California, El Niño can bring extreme storms and landslides, but, it can also end droughts by refilling reservoirs. Africa. East Africa may see flooding, while southern Africa endures drought. The contrast can devastate agriculture and spark food insecurity for millions. Every El Niño is unique, but they all share one truth: they break the pattern. No place on Earth is truly untouched. Scientists track El Niño using a combination of satellites, ocean buoys, and computer models. They measure sea surface temperatures in key regions of the Pacific, especially the so-called Niño 3.4 region. When those waters warm by more than 0.5 degrees Celsius above average for several months, it signals the beginning of an El Niño. But predicting exactly how it will unfold is still tricky. The ocean atmosphere system is so complex that even small shifts can have huge consequences. That's why meteorologists describe El Niño as the wild card of the climate system. Right now, researchers are warning that the latest El Niño may merge with human-driven warming to create record-breaking global temperatures, melt more ice, and accelerate feedback loops that could reshape the planet's climate for decades. It's easy to think of El Niño as a destructive force. And well, it certainly is. But it's also part of a natural rhythm, a planetary heartbeat that redistributes heat between ocean and sky. Without it, the Pacific would trap too much energy, and honestly, global weather systems would stagnate. El Niño is both destroyer and balancer, resetting Earth's climate machinery. The problem isn't El Niño itself. It's just how fragile our civilization has become in the face of natural cycles we can no longer control. As we enter a new era of supercharged weather, the return of El Niño is a stark reminder that the ocean still calls the shots. Whether it's through drought, fire, flood or heat, this Pacific pulse will test our resilience and our readiness. Humanity may have satellites, data and forecasts, but at the end of the day, nature still holds the ultimate power. And if you want to keep exploring the mysteries behind the planet's greatest forces, from hidden ocean currents to ancient climate cycles, subscribe to Strange and Curious Planet, where every story reveals just how alive our world truly is.